Will Holly face justice in Salem? A deep dive into Days of Our Lives' most heart-wrenching arc. As someone who's been chronicling the twists and turns of Days of Our Lives for decades, watching Salem's residents cycle through love, betrayal, revenge, and redemption like clockwork, I can tell you that few storylines hit quite like this one. The death of young Sophia has cast a long, dark shadow over the town, and the aftermath is unfolding with the kind of raw, unflinching drama that keeps longtime fans glued to their screens. We've seen funerals that tear families apart, secrets that explode in courtrooms, and vendettas that span generations. But this feels personal. This feels like it's cutting to the bone of what Days does best, exploring how grief can twist into something dangerous, something unstoppable. Let me paint the picture for you, because if you're tuning in after Sophia's funeral and memorial service, you know the air in Salem has changed. The church was packed with mourners, flowers everywhere, but the sorrow hung heavier than the incense. Sophia was just a child, bright, full of potential, the kind of kid who reminded everyone of their own vulnerable youth in that turbulent town. Bullied mercilessly, pushed to the edge, and now gone. The memorial service wasn't just a goodbye, it was a reckoning. And standing at the center of it all, her eyes blazing with a mother's unyielding fury, was Amy. After the last eulogy had been spoken, after the hugs had turned into awkward silences and people drifted away to their cars, Amy pulled her husband aside. The camera lingered on her face in that classic Days close-up, the kind where you can see every tear track, every line of determination etched into her features. Her voice, usually warm and steady, cracked with emotion but hardened into steel as she spoke. "My path forward has never been clearer," she told him, her hands gripping his arms as if he were the only anchor left in her storm. "No other child will have to suffer what Sophia endured. Holly is responsible for this, and I won't stop until she's held accountable for manslaughter." The way she said it sent chills through the viewing audience. You could feel the weight of those words. This wasn't a fleeting outburst of grief. This was a declaration of war. Amy has always been portrayed as a devoted mother, the kind who would move mountains for her kids. But losing Sophia has unlocked something deeper, a righteous rage that's both heartbreaking and terrifying. We've seen mothers in Salem fight before. Think of the epic battles involving Marlena, Sammy, or even Kristen in her more unhinged phases, but Amy's resolve feels grounded in a very real, very human pain. She's not scheming for power or revenge in the DiMera style. She's a parent demanding justice. And let's be honest, viewers, we think Amy would absolutely follow through on this. She will never give up. In the episodes following the funeral, we've watched her transform. Late-night scenes where she's poring over old messages, screenshots of the bullying Sophia endured, witness statements from classmates who saw Holly's cruelty firsthand. The writers have done an excellent job showing her husband's concern. He's torn between supporting his wife and fearing what this crusade might do to their already fractured family. One quiet bedroom scene had him pleading, "Amy, honey, this could destroy us too," but she just stared out the window into the Salem night and whispered, "It already has." So the big question burning on everyone's lips is this: will Holly actually be arrested for manslaughter? And how will this explosive story unfold in the rich tapestry of Days of Our Lives? Let's break it down, step by dramatic step, because this isn't going to be a quick courtroom episode and done. Soap operas like Days thrive on layering complication upon complication, and this plot has all the ingredients for months, maybe even years of riveting television. First, the evidence against Holly. From what we've seen, Holly's involvement in the bullying wasn't just playground teasing. It was relentless, targeted, and vicious enough to drive a fragile young girl like Sophia to despair. Flashbacks have been peppered in beautifully, those haunting moments of Sophia coming home in tears, hiding her phone from her parents, the digital trail of cruel texts and social media posts that Holly and perhaps her circle were behind. In true Days fashion, the show hasn't made Holly a one-dimensional villain. She's complex, a young woman dealing with her own traumas, perhaps influenced by the toxic dynamics of her family or peer group in Salem. But grief doesn't care about nuance. Amy sees blood on Holly's hands, and she's building a case. We saw Amy storm into the police station, probably Ray Fernandez's office, knowing how these things go, demanding action. The detectives are hesitant at first. Manslaughter isn't murder, but in a case involving a minor suicide allegedly triggered by bullying, the legal bar is tricky. Salem's legal system has always been flexible, shall we say? Remember how many times evidence has mysteriously appeared or disappeared? But Amy isn't backing down. She's hiring the best lawyer she can find, maybe even pulling strings with old connections in town. Expect tense meetings where she reviews autopsy reports, psychological evaluations, and expert testimony on the long-term effects of cyberbullying. The drama ramps up when she confronts Holly directly. Imagine the scene. Two women face to face in the town square, Amy's voice rising as she accuses Holly of murder in all but name. Holly, tears streaming, protesting her innocence or offering a half-hearted apology that only fuels the fire. Holly's defense will be a masterclass in soap opera moral ambiguity. She's young, perhaps remorseful now that the consequences have hit. Her family, whichever branch of the Salem web she's tied to, will rally around her. We might see interventions from legacy characters, maybe a Brady or a Horton offering counsel, or even DiMera getting involved if there's any corporate or legal angle. The show excels at these interconnected webs. Holly could argue it was never her intention, that kids say horrible things without understanding the weight, that she herself was under pressure. But Amy won't hear it. "My daughter is dead," she'll scream in one of those Emmy-worthy monologues. Words have power. Your words killed her. As the investigation deepens, expect the plot to thicken with classic Days elements. Hidden evidence surfaces, perhaps a deleted text thread that implicates Holly more deeply, or a witness who flips under pressure. Romantic entanglements will complicate everything. Maybe Holly is involved with someone close to Amy's family, creating forbidden love and divided loyalties. Therapy sessions reveal Sophia's inner turmoil, humanizing the victim further and making Amy's pain even more palpable. We'll get flashbacks galore. Sophia's last days, the bullying incidents replayed in devastating detail, Amy's happier memories of baking cookies or family holidays now tinged with unbearable loss. Will Holly be arrested? I believe yes, because Days of Our Lives loves its dramatic arrests. Picture it, the police cruiser pulling up outside the coffee shop or the Kiriaki's mansion, officers cuffing Holly as she protests, her face a mask of shock and fear. The courtroom scenes that follow will be pure gold. Cross-examinations where lawyers tear into character witnesses, surprise testimonies, and perhaps even a medical expert linking the bullying directly to Sophia's mental state. Amy on the stand, breaking down as she describes finding her daughter, the empty shell left behind. The jury, Salem style, with familiar faces in the gallery, will be riveted. But here's where it gets deliciously complicated, as only this show can deliver. Manslaughter charges mean intent isn't required, just reckless disregard. The defense will hammer on reasonable doubt. Was there a larger group involved? Did Sophia have pre-existing conditions? Was Holly the ringleader or just a participant? Twists will emerge, maybe evidence that someone else egged Holly on, or that Sophia's death involved more than just bullying, an accident, a secret illness, or even foul play from an unexpected source. Salem is never straightforward. Amy's obsession will test her marriage to its limits. Late-night arguments, her neglecting work or other children, spiraling into isolation. We've seen this before with characters like Jennifer or Hope, where grief becomes all-consuming. Perhaps she allies with unlikely partners, maybe a reformed villain who sees parallels in their own loss. Or she clashes with the town elite, who want the scandal to disappear. Holly's arc will be redemption or ruin. If arrested, her time in holding cells, visits from loved ones, the shame of public opinion turning against her. Salem loves a good comeback story. She might emerge changed, volunteering with anti-bullying campaigns, seeking forgiveness that Amy refuses to give. Or the charges could stick, leading to a trial that divides the town. Friends choosing sides, old feuds reignited. Think of the Brady pub buzzing with gossip, the hospital corridors filled with whispers. Expanding this further, let's consider the broader implications for the canvas. Sophia's story shines a light on real issues, teen mental health, the dangers of social media in a way Days has increasingly embraced while staying true to its melodramatic roots. We might see crossover effects, other teens in Salem coming forward with their own stories, support groups forming, even a mayoral candidate running on youth safety platforms. Characters like Doug and Julie offering wisdom from their decades in town, reminding us that pain evolves but community endures. Dramatic set pieces are inevitable. A rain-soaked confrontation at Sophia's gravesite, Amy clutching flowers as Holly approaches to pay respects, only to be screamed away. Hospital emergencies if stress gets to someone. Romantic side plots where Holly finds solace in an unexpected romance, further enraging Amy. Legal maneuvers involving forged documents or tampered evidence, because what's a day's trial without a bombshell? Hundreds of episodes could spin from this. Amy's journey toward healing or darker vengeance. Holly's growth through adversity. The ripple effects on friends and family. Will charges be dropped in a last-minute twist? A plea deal? Full acquittal with Amy refusing to accept it, leading to personal revenge schemes? The beauty of this soap is that nothing is ever truly resolved. Grief lingers, justice is elusive, and characters evolve in messy, human ways. In my experienced view as a longtime observer, Holly's arrest feels not just likely, but necessary for the story's emotional payoff. It forces confrontation, growth, and that signature Days catharsis. But it won't be clean. Expect heartbreak, shocking revelations, and perhaps even Amy questioning her own role as a mother. Did she miss the signs? That self-doubt layered over fury makes her arc profoundly relatable. Viewers, this is why we watch. Not just for the glamour and the kisses, but for these raw explorations of loss and accountability. Sophia may be gone, but her story is fueling one of the most compelling arcs in recent memory. Amy's path is set, prosecution no matter the cost. Holly's future hangs in the balance. Salem will never be the same. As the weeks unfold, I'll be here dissecting every episode, every glance, every bombshell. Will justice prevail, or will the cycle of pain continue? Tune in, because in Days of Our Lives, the truth always comes out eventually, and usually with maximum drama.